What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tech Audit TV. My name is Brandon Hassler, and today I want to break down the CyberDust app. This is a really cool app made famous by Mark Cuban, who is one of the co-founders of this app. Obviously, with his weight behind it, it's been able to get out into the mass public. A lot of people are using it. It's not anywhere near as big as the user base that Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram has, but it's still pretty big. And as a marketer, I've seen a lot of momentum on this. I've even driven a few sales to one of my companies, and it's been a really fun app to use. First, let's hop into a little bit of a demo of how CyberDust works. So right when you log into CyberDust, you're brought to what's called the blast screen. And like any social media feed, this is basically where everyone you follow, all of their posts go into this feed from newest to oldest. Now, if I were to click on a photo, say this article here shared by Mark Cuban, it would actually go to the website. Or I could just click on the actual post with his comments. It pulls in the Open Graph data down here, but I could reblast this to my followers or to select people if I think they're interested in that. Or I could respond with a photo or video of my own. There's also these reactions that CyberDust has built in where you can send these different things. So let's say, don't argue. We'll send that one. So Mark Cuban just got that reaction. Or of course, I could respond directly to Mark Cuban and say something like, good share. You probably will never respond to this, but hey, what the heck. Now, if we go over here to groups, I don't have any group conversations going, but this is pretty much just like group chat you would have on a normal text messaging conversation, but within CyberDust. And then you have your dusts. And dusts and blasts are two different things within CyberDust. Dusts are personal one-on-one conversations that you're having with people, whereas blasts, I could send out a message and it goes to all of my followers. Now, for example, I have these different people that I have sent messages to. If I click on Mark Cuban, you're not going to see anything because my message has already been deleted. Remember, this is a private messaging app. The one really cool thing I love about CyberDust is how privacy is a huge focus. So I can, if Mark Cuban were to start messaging me here, I could snapshot it just like this. It took a snapshot. Obviously, there wasn't anything being taken, but he just got a notification that I just screenshotted this blank conversation. But even if he said something and I wanted to put a message out to some tabloid saying, look what Mark Cuban said, there's no proof that I'm even talking to Mark Cuban. I can click up here where I'm dusting with, and it says Mark Cuban, but you'll never see the person's name and the conversation at the same time. Meaning I could screenshot this or I could screenshot the conversation. So there's no proof that you're actually talking with that person or that they said what they said, which is the whole point behind CyberDust. I also love the navigations down here. If you were to click on this little button down here, I can send an individual dust, I can send a group message, a text blast, a media blast. So if I have a link or I just want to say a few words, I could do that. Or of course, I could shoot a video or a photo. I can search, and then there's the Discover section. And this is one of my favorite sections, or one of my favorite features within CyberDust. Unlike Snapchat where, and again, this is very similar to Snapchat, but unlike Snapchat, it's very easy to discover people to follow who have similar interests to you. So you have popular accounts, and they'll feature really popular accounts. They'll also have different categories, so featured people, network and build your business, learn from business experts. It seems to be, yeah, there we go. So then we have music, sports. I mean, they have pretty much every topic under the sun. If I were to click here, I can see all the different topics that they offer with popular categories, featured categories, and then you have chatters. And these are just, normal everyday people like you and me who are doing good work on CyberDust. So we have a fashion category here, art. If you were to click here and go down to marketing right here, I'm pretty sure I'm listed on this chatters list. There you go, Brandon Hassler. So this wasn't super hard to get on there. I was just active for a couple weeks. I even messaged the CyberDust team and just told them that I love the app, and the next day they blasted out my name to all of the people who follow their CyberDust account, and I got a ton of followers from that. So you can actually see your own profile by clicking down on this button here. And there's my profile. You can see how many people are following me and how many friends. You can add friends, invite friends, just all sorts of cool stuff. So, I mean, this is primarily a mobile messaging app. However, it is definitely heavily being used as a social network. Another feature I love about CyberDust is the ability to see how many people have actually viewed your posts. So for example, if I click on the My Blast button at the top of CyberDust, I can see all of my posts that I have put up on CyberDust, and as well as how many people have seen them and how many screenshots were taken. For example, if I were to click on this, I can see that this post was viewed 481 times. Doesn't mean that's 481 unique people, but that's how many times it was viewed, and that 2 screenshots were taken with this specific post. This is very similar to what Snapchat does, and it's a great way to be able to gauge what content people are enjoying and which content is just crap. One thing I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to CyberDust is the design. They've made big progress since the original CyberDust app, but the app still feels like it came out in like 2005. Especially when you compare it to its rival Snapchat. Snapchat is a very beautiful app. They spend a lot of time making sure the flow is smooth and the design is very modern. CyberDust is kind of the opposite when it comes to design. They have made it much easier to navigate compared to the original versions of CyberDust, but that's one area that they could really work on, especially when it comes to photos and videos. When I take photos of myself or record like a 7-second video on CyberDust, it's not anywhere as clear as it is on Snapchat. It doesn't even feel like it's HD. It almost feels like it's like a standard, and the video can get distorted a little bit. So that's one thing I'm not a big fan of when it comes to CyberDust. Now you have to remember, this is a Mark Cuban app, which means privacy is gonna be a big focus. In fact, CyberDust isn't really advertised as a social media platform, even though that's what most people are using it for. It's advertised as a private communication app. So if you do want to have private conversations, maybe you're a lawyer or you want to say something to someone that you do not want to risk getting out in public eye, whether it's for legal reasons or PR reasons, whatever it is, or you just don't want to offend a friend, this is the app to do it. It's very secure. In fact, we couldn't even do a screencast of it so you can get a clear picture because this is what you see when I plug in my iPhone into my Mac. So they are awesome at security, way more private than Snapchat is, even though Snapchat kind of originally marketed itself as the private messaging app. Snapchat's become a lot more, whereas CyberDust has really stuck to its roots and has made the focus on private conversations. CyberDust is available on iOS, Android, and Windows platforms. However, it's not available on desktop yet. I have talked to the CyberDust team. That is something they're working on, because for me personally, even though I may not use it as much as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat as a social network, I would really like to use this as a personal messaging app. I've even considered replacing my just native messaging app with that I use on my iPhone, but because I don't have a desktop app, which is usually where I do most of my text messaging, that switch isn't going to happen. But they have told me they are working on a desktop app for both Windows as well as Mac operating systems. So we'll see how that goes. Overall, I think I'd give CyberDust a very positive review. It's a fantastic app and platform for personal communication, specifically private communication. As far as using it for a social network, it's not my favorite compared to obviously some of the major social players out there, but from a marketing standpoint, which is what I do with a lot of my time, I think it's very much worth getting in there either as a person of your company, your personal brand, or your company getting involved and just start engaging with these people, because there aren't a lot of companies on here, and odds are your competitors are not on CyberDust. So get in there, start interacting, and see if the platform is for you. I've seen a wide range of audience. It's not male dominated. There's a lot of women, a lot of men, so it's pretty mixed. It's not all business. Although I would say there is a little bit more of a tech savvy audience. I mean, these are early adopters we're talking about. Will this ever be a major player like Snapchat? I don't think so. But I still think it's a fantastic app, and if I'm concerned about private conversations, I would use CyberDust over Snapchat any day. So there you have it. There's my take on CyberDust. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if I missed anything, if you disagree with anything. Put that down in the comments below, or just your general take on Snapchat versus an app like CyberDust. If you did enjoy the show, be sure to subscribe. I really appreciate the support from everyone who has, and I'm excited to get some new videos out there. If you do have an app in mind that you would love for me to take a look at and do a review on, leave it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Tech Audit TV.